So I had another thought. Um, I got a email from one of my either from Credit Karma or Experian saying that one of my accounts was closed. I think it was my Fingerhut account or something like that. And they said, well, if you didn't close it, then call and get it rectified. And I'm like thinking to myself, if that account is closed, thank the Lord. Um, I opened it up because they always say to rebuild my credit. So I was working on rebuilding my credit a couple of years ago before I got this car. So I was doing those things to try to help rebuild my credit. So when I went to apply for the loan for the car, they could see that I had been working to rebuild my credit. My credit was looking good. But buying things from Fingerhut, while you can pay on time and you can get some of the things you want, is expensive. You know, something that you can go in Walmart's or Target or even order off of Amazon for maybe $150, $200 might cost you in the end with the interest and stuff almost $300. So you know it's not a good thing. So I was just grateful that I have enough wisdom and enough intelligence to say thank God that that account is closed. I mean, when they look at my credit report and see that um, it was on there and they tell you, you know, you ought to, like when you pay your credit cards off, don't close them, leave them open, because some creditors like to see that you have a available line of credit in case you need it. But that does not bother me at all that that account is closed, and I'm actually grateful as I keep working towards trying to um, uh, look towards retirement. You know, so some things you got to make sacrifices. And so many people, and especially I look around at young people today, and people in some people even my age and older people who just waste. um, you know, they just wait. As soon as the money comes in their hand, it is gone. And I'm not talking they pay bills, and I'm not talking about they fill their cupboards up with food. I'm not talking about they put gas in their tank, wash their clothes. That's not why it's gone. If it's like that, then that's why it should be gone. You've done what you needed to do. But they go get their hair done, they go get their nails done, they run out, and every time a friend of theirs is having a party, they're running to the party, they're hanging out in the bars. And then when they look up, they don't have anything for their household. Um, Been there, done that. Thank God that even when I was doing that, I was living in my mother's home. I was sharing with someone the other day that when I stayed with my mother, I would give her like $25 or $50 every 2 weeks, but then I would buy toilet paper and all the different stuff and groceries in the house and stuff like that when I stayed with her. But then I would go to Monsieur Andre's and Dino's, two clothing stores here in Cincinnati. I'm not sure if they're still open because I haven't been downtown, but I would go to them and pay $200 for a suit and the whole outfit, the tie, the shoes, you know, all that stuff, you know, and just waste money to maybe go out to, I think there was a club over in Kentucky that I had a VIP membership for, you know, but I wasn't a really club person, but I would go, you know. I was young. I was doing things and I wasn't being held accountable, you know, for those things. I think sometimes I look back and think if my mother had said to me, oh, when you get paid, give me $200, you know, then I would have been thinking, okay, you know, I can't just go out and spend money recklessly, you know. And I feel so bad when people have children or people have spouses or they're in relationships and one is just reckless with their money, and the other is trying to do everything they can to save the money, and it's just terrible. I remember watching a movie, and I don't know what it was. It was with Vincent Price in it, but this one guy was like a drunk. And so he comes home and asks his wife for some money. And he said, I know you got money hidden around the house. And he said, I want my money. But she was the one working for the money. She was doing odds and ends, sewing or whatever. And so she ended up having an affair with Vincent Price. And so he had holed her up in the wall and went and found her money. He was in some flour. It was in a vase. She hid it in one place. She really thought he wouldn't look. A vase of flour. He found it. He went to the bar and spending and splurging, buying stuff for everybody in the bar. And then the next day, he had no more left. And now she's gone because he done hold her up in the wall, killed her and put her in the wall. So, at 58 years of age, I finally learned that reckless spending is not the way to go, and especially for black people. Especially for black people, we just will not understand. We can't live reckless. We cannot. If you are a parent, or if you're a husband, you're a wife, and your single friends are running out all the time and stuff like that, you can't go. You just cannot. Because they can. They're by themselves. They're taking care of themselves. So if something goes wrong and they don't have the money for it, they have no one but themselves to worry about. But if you're a parent and a single parent, whether you're a single father, single mother, and you got children, and you're hanging out and doing all these other reckless spending, and then you come home and you have nothing left over, and you've got kids, or you're a husband and you don't want to gamble the money away, spend it on your side chick and all that stuff. You're a wife and you don't spend it on your side stud or whatever, whoever, however, you done reckless spending. What if the other spouse loses their job? Yes, we've got to learn how to do better. We've got to learn how to do better. There's a scripture, and I can't say it verbatim, but a lot of people talk about it, about sitting down. And Jesus told the parable about the wise builder and the foolish builder. One built his house on sand, and the other one built his house on a sure foundation. We've got to do that. If you're 30 and 40 and 50, if you're 20 and 29, even though you're young, you still got to look towards the future. You've got to start investing in something more than fake nails and fake lashes. They're here and gone tomorrow. When the fad changes and Hollywood changes how they do their lash, and the makeup world changes, everybody's changed. All those false lashes you got lined up on wherever you got lined up will be no good anymore. You can't sell them, because that's what happens with fashion. People, all these stars and entertainers, they set the standards, and everybody, normal people, run out and try to emulate them and stuff like that. And as soon as they switch up, now you stuck. Been there, done that. So we've got to do better. We've got to do better. We've got to teach our kids how to do better. They can't have everything they want when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What are they going to look forward to when they finally get legal? If we're giving them everything they want. I remember, and this is probably a stupid analogy to use, but I was hanging in the clubs. When I was 18, I would go to the Palm Room here in Cincinnati on Wednesday, ladies' night, be in the club, 18. Then my birthday comes around on a Wednesday. When I turned 21, I think it was a Wednesday, 21. But I'd already been to the clubs, been going all along. So now I'm looking like, oh, really? There ain't nothing exciting to do now because I've done it. So it's the same thing with spending and buying. Yes, you want your children to have some of the things you didn't have, but don't measure your life by by other people's lives. We can't. I used to want the Converse shoes and all that stuff, so I would do things so I could try to get in. My foster parents never got them. And then I finally got them in my second foster home, and I loved them, But the basic is, so we just got to do better. We just got to do better. Be blessed.